Success in creative business is made up of three things: your art, your marketing, and your mindset. All three of these pieces of the puzzle are of equal importance because honestly, if you have two of any of these things and not the last one, you are sunk. But today I want to dig into the practical application of this concept and drill down on how much time you should be spending promoting and marketing your artwork, your services, your designs, versus creating it and actively working on a positive and confident mindset. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Elizabeth Silver, and I've been designing patterns and illustrations for over 20 years through staff jobs, freelance clients, and art licensing partners. On this channel, I give designers insights into the surface pattern and art for product industry, from tips on making stronger art collections to pitching your work to industry trends. Subscribe if that sounds useful to you. Today I'm diving into marketing because this is one of the toughest things for designers and illustrators I've worked with. And that's because we didn't get into this industry to be content creators or salespeople. We just want to draw. Even though you might know the things you should be doing to bring in new clients, consistently doing those things can be really hard. So let's break down this idea of marketing a little bit more. Marketing at its core is understanding your value and communicating that effectively, which is something I want all creative business owners to feel comfortable doing. You are awesome, so why are you hiding it? As we think about marketing our art or design services, there are two ways to engage. The first is passive marketing. Through passive marketing, you set up outlets to show off your skill set and services and let customers come to you. For example, your website, your social media, your print-on-demand store, talking conversationally about your interests with your friends, blogging about your work, etc. The second is active marketing. To actively market, you're aiming to directly connect with paying clients and interact. Examples of this would be contacting art directors, submitting proposals via freelance sites, or exhibiting at a trade show. Both types of marketing are important. And while you don't have to do every example, you should be comfortable with both active and passive marketing as you build your business. By the way, if you need help with any of these things, I cover the foundations of what you need to get established as a professional in the surface pattern, design, art for product world in my course, Start Your Surface Pattern Business. We can get you up and running on some of these basics in the most straightforward way in that course if you need that help. But if you already know this stuff and you're saying to me, yeah, Elizabeth, I get it. Social media pitching, sure. But how do I balance all this stuff? I hear you. Let's dig in. How much of your time should be spent promoting your services and art versus creating it? So I looked for a definitive answer on this question, like science, data, studies, and surprise, surprise, no single correct split exists. Some recommend committing the majority of your time to marketing, up to 80%, while other sites I found say the opposite works better, especially in early stages of your business. And that back and forth really got me thinking. Stage matters a lot. When you're just a beginner, you've just learned about art for product, you're just getting into creating, more time on your portfolio and practicing your art makes sense to solidify your value proposition, what you're bringing to the table. I mean, I still believe in getting set up with the basic passive marketing and test driving, pitching your work directly earlier rather than later, not waiting until you have a huge portfolio and you've been doing it for a year. But still, it is important to create more than market at this stage. Maybe the split is more like 65% creating, making work better, and 35% communicating your services, spending time building that website and spending time hosting your journey on Instagram. But as you have more art and you get a little more confident with your work, it makes sense to spend more time actively connecting with potential clients to start to build the business that you've been training for. If your portfolio is coming together, and remember, of course, that it will never be perfect or done, and you're past the total beginner stages, I call this the builder stage, you may be ready to spend closer to 60 or even 70% of your time on your marketing efforts, because you've got a portfolio that you can start marketing with, that you can start leveraging in order to create those connections with paying clients. It may seem like a lot, but I think this is also a stage. Once you're in boss mode, which is what I call when you're starting to have some clients coming in and you're getting busier with real paid projects, that is when marketing can lessen, but you don't want to let it die out completely. And that's when you start making smart decisions, like making marketing a little more cyclical and systemized, right? Make it easier. It doesn't have to be a one-off every time. You have systems in place to make it easier. Depending on what stage you find yourself in, that's where you should be spending your time. But even at those beginner stages, you should still be spending at least a third of your time on marketing efforts. All right, now it's time for you to do a marketing temperature check. The link below will take you to a checklist to see if you are hitting all the milestones for the stage that you're at. If you're interested in more videos about marketing, I have some for you. I will link them coming up next.